Welcome to this edition of On the Scene. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. Well, the summer of 2017 is here. You might be asking yourself, what the heck am I going to do with my summer? We have answers to that question. We'll share resources right here in Suffolk from the Division of Tourism and Suffolk Public Library. Stay tuned. Welcome back to On the Scene. We're now coming to you from North Suffolk Library. We have two very special guests to talk about summer programs that the Suffolk Public Library is offering. Very unique, always interesting, and a way to get you involved in your community, and also in this case, get you involved in what's going on here at the library. And joining us today, we have Jennifer Brown, who is the Youth and Family Services Manager, and Megan Mulvey, who is the Outreach and Program Services Manager. So let's kick off talking about Sizzling Saturday programs. So again, summertime, Sizzling Saturdays, what we got?
Sure. So this year we decided to really focus on our programming in the libraries overall. Last year we had great success with our large family-oriented programs, so we decided to build off that success this year.
Great.
So literally every Saturday over the summer for 9 weeks, we're going to have family-oriented, kind of large, lots of things to do kind of programs.
Okay.
So we're starting Saturday, June 17th with our kickoff, which is going to be at Lake Mead Park, where we're just kicking off all of our summer events, getting people excited, getting them involved, engaged, and whatnot. And then from there, we are going to have our second annual Amazing Peanut Chase.
Okay.
We had such a huge success with this last year that we actually ran out of supplies.
Well, I guess it's a good problem to have, and this year,
Yeah, so we're preparing for more.
Okay.
So that's actually going to be here at the North Suffolk Library. You start here, and then you have clues and puzzles you have to solve to get you through the different locations in the city of Suffolk.
Okay.
And then you come back to North Suffolk Library for kind of the after party. They're going to have pizza and prizes for different contests that they're having.
Very cool.
The sites are super, super secret, so we don't even know what they are.
Okay, all right.
The team planning are the only ones that really know
Got
what
it,
they are.
got it. Okay, all right.
So that we're not giving anybody a leg up.
Got it, okay.
Some other things that we're going to have going on is we're going to have a pre-4th of July picnic down at Morgan Memorial Library. And this is really to get a sense of community within that area. We're going to have food and games and crafts and activities and prizes and contests and things like that.
Very good.
So really just building that community around the library, bringing them in. Some other things, and Megan could actually probably talk a little bit about this a little more, is we have a free school initiative over the summer, which the idea is that everybody in the community has something that they can teach or really provide for other people. So we're bringing in some community partners, some citizens.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we want to sort of mine the talent and hobbies and things that people in Suffolk know how to do.
Correct.
Because we know that we have a very talented community.
Yes.
So what we'd like to do is, rather than the library saying, these are the programs that we're providing for you, we want to get the community involved and have the community take charge of what is being offered at the library.
Right.
So we're offering opportunities for people to actually teach their skills.
Okay.
And you don't have to be a teacher
Right.
to do that.
Yeah.
You can, you might know how to sew or knit. You might know how to change a tire or hula hoop, or yo-yo tricks.
Right.
Anybody has a skill,
Sure.
and everyone has interests, and chances are someone else in the community is going to be interested in the same thing.
That's interesting.
So we have a free school fair.
Okay.
We have two of them actually during the summer, but that's the weekend after the July 1st.
Yeah, so July 8th we'll have our first free school fair at, is it that the one in North Suffolk?
That's going to be at North Suffolk.
Okay.
And then I think in August we'll have another one down at Morgan, so that we can hit both ends of the
So then all the, if you want to call them classes, will be taught on those two particular days, so you kind of get like an opportunity to kind of, pardon expression, you have a menu of different things that are offered, and you can kind of pick and choose
you pick and choose. You sit down at whatever table you're interested in learning.
Okay.
And you interact with that person and learn almost on a one-on-one basis.
Yeah,
so it's more of a conversational
Got it. Okay.
learning system. So
All right. Interesting. So, I mean, how has the response been for people interested in being the teachers, so to speak, in those? I would imagine, like you said, we have a diverse set of skills
Yeah.
across the city, and it's just tapping into that resource. It's a great
It's
opportunity.
been great, and we're still looking for more.
Yeah.
We started with library staff that don't necessarily do the teaching of programs
Right.
as often.
Sure.
So we have, one of our library services coordinators is going to teach hula hooping fitness. One of our library managers is going to teach people how to make slime. One of our
Good hobby, good
Yeah.
good thing to have. You never know when you need to bring that resource out.
and her husband is going to teach a composting class.
Okay.
With how to compost with worms.
Interesting. Okay, good.
And we're going to give away worms.
Okay, well, starter kit, if you will.
Yeah. So everybody has something that they can
Yeah.
teach. And then, we're getting, we had a little boy who came into one of our libraries who was doing yo-yo tricks.
Right.
And we asked him, would you be interested in sharing your skill with
Sure.
other people?
Yes.
And he signed up for 4 sessions.
Wow.
Because not only are we offering the fairs, but we're also offering free school nights on,
Okay.
on Thursday evenings at both Morgan Memorial and North Suffolk
So the
Libraries.
offerings for those will be a little smaller,
Yeah,
whereas the
of course.
preschool fairs are going to have
A little bit of a
lot
bigger,
more
I
to
understand.
Yeah.
Great.
Definitely.
Well, I mean, that's a great thing about the Sizzling Saturdays. I think you got a wide variety of things offered, and I will ask this question even though I know the answer, but I guess that's a safe question to ask. The cost, nothing.
Nothing.
That's what I thought. Okay, I'm just making sure because I know that's one of the great things about Suffolk Public Library, all the different programs offered. Generally, I can't think of any instances really where there is an
Never
associated
charge.
cost.
Nope.
So again, it's a way to utilize resources here in Suffolk, whether you have Suffolk people teaching or we're offering opportunities where you bring in sessions or classes or whatever. So again, a great resource there. Now we couple that with the fact of the Cirque du Library. Now, when we talk about that, is that it's not necessarily your summer reading program, but it's a way to get people to learn more about what's going on and resources that y'all already offer on a regular basis, but tapping into that and offering it in a fun and some prizes also offered
Yes.
through there as well.
Yes. Well, you described it actually really well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Show over. No, just kidding.
So yes, we're not doing what people would call a traditional summer reading program.
Right.
We found that our community wasn't necessarily responding to that, but they were responding to the things that we were offering on
Correct.
a day-to-day basis.
Right.
So they're really interested in our free programs. They're really interested in the services that we offer in our branches. They're really interested in our mobile services when we go out into the
Correct.
community and
Right.
do outreach. So what we thought we would do is highlight all of those things through a sort of how do you library program. And so every week there will be a new list of activities to highlight new things that you could do in the library. So every week you come into the library, you see that list, and then you complete one of those activities or all of those activities. And the activity might be something as simple as getting a library card,
attending a program.
attending a program.
Okay.
It might be something a little bit more exotic, like visiting one of our outreach sites, or even teaching a free school session.
Got it.
So we want people to see everything that we
Right.
offer. And so all you have to do if you complete one of those activities or all of the activities is tell one of our staff people, and we're not going to make you prove it.
Right.
So, just tell them, oh, hey, I signed up for a free school session, so I'd like to get my raffle ticket for the day. And so you get a raffle ticket, and you enter it in to win a weekly prize.
Okay.
And we have weekly prizes that I think will be interesting to everyone.
Right.
So we have gift cards to local businesses like Taste and Georgia Steakhouse. Good.
Food's always a popular thing. It's amazing how that works.
And then, practical things like a $50 gift card to Walmart.
Right.
Or a gift card to Amazon. Not necessarily a local business, but
Understand, but there's still some appeal there. So
it's
yeah,
still-
yeah.
or to Regal Cinemas, so you
Right.
can go see a movie.
Very good.
So every week, a $50 gift card to one of those places will be made available to the winner of one of those raffle drawings.
So really, it's just simply, literally getting to know your library, utilizing the resources that you have, and I think people will be amazed at the things that are offered on a regular basis, regardless of we're talking about the Sizzling Saturdays or some of the outreach programs and things that, again, are kind of cyclical in some ways. But the fact of the things that just are here and what you can do, I mean, you know, I think it's always the ability to learn something. And it just depending upon where you funnel that interest into, whether or not it's going online and you have you know, books and DVDs and not DVDs, you wouldn't have a DVD online, but you have music and other things like that. You can tap into the magazines and everything that are online. And that's a whole area that I don't think everybody realizes how rich it is as far as what's offered. And all you have to do is have a library card, which costs you nothing to get. So, you know, I mean, there's not a whole lot of work on your part to be able to get to these resources. Now, with the program, the Circular Library, do you have to register up front to say that I'm part of the program? I know you mentioned about the fact is tell someone, hey, I did X, Y, or Z.
Yep, you just come into our building, you do one of those activities, you say, hey, I've done my activity, can I have my raffle ticket? And then that's that. We're really challenging our community to see that we're more than just a warehouse of books.
Yes.
And that we provide so many other opportunities, whether it's through technology or our online resources or our programming. And we're really trying to get them involved and engaged in that way.
We also want to hear from community members about how they use our library. So one of the activities that will be on the list every week is show us how you library through social media. So we're asking people to take a picture perhaps of how they're using a library resource or how they're using our buildings or even our outreach services, and then post it online. And then we can learn more about how they're using the library, and maybe, you know,
build off of that.
Build off of that. That communication is really critical to the services that we provide.
Well, that way, it's almost like doing a survey. I mean, in a way, so you can tap into the fact, you see what people are interested in. I guess that you can better allocate resources as that things kind of show. I mean, I think y'all know on a daily basis where people are going and what they're doing, but it always helps to know maybe that person that comes in, maybe a little quiet, kind of does their thing and leaves, or maybe they're doing something online that you're not aware about, and you realize, wait a minute, this is bigger than we thought. And I think that's a great way to tap into that. And again, you have prizes that are being offered, so that's a huge incentive there. And I'm assuming that, again, all this information we can go to your library, I mean your website, pardon me. You have a website there at your library, but and check all that out. Again, you have a great calendar there. So again, we can check out all these activities and things that are going on. You can find out more information about the Circular Library. Now, with the lists that are available each week, will those be posted online as well as each week rolls around, or will you need to actually come into the library, which I know is the big driving?
Well, we want people to come in the library.
Of course.
But they will be available online.
Perfect. Okay, good deal. Good deal. So that everybody, one way or another, you can get that information.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And again, when we're talking about libraries, of course, we have the North Suffolk location, Morgan Memorial, and Chuckatuck. So again, 3 conveniently located places to go check out and see what your library is all about. And again, right here in the city of Suffolk. So I want to thank Megan and Jennifer again for your time today. Appreciate that. And looking forward to a great summer 2017 here at Suffolk Public Library. We'll have more on the scene when we return. Welcome back to On the Scene, joined now by the Tourism Development Manager, Teresa Earls. Teresa, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Well, of course, we're keeping with the theme of today's program and talking about what you can do to sort of have a staycation or just really enjoy Suffolk. And tours, big thing that the Department of Tourism offers, have a wide variety of those, plus some other special events that are still ongoing throughout the summer. So let's jump in. We got a lot of things to talk about here today. Tours, there's at least 5 of them we're going to hit, and again, they're all run through the Division of Tourism, a great place to go as far as with the visitor center is a launching point for most of them. So we're going to talk about the Historic Suffolk Narrated Bus Tour. So tell us a little bit about what it is and the fact, the best thing, it's hot during the summer, but you get to stay inside, right, on a cool bus?
Yes, you get to be in an air-conditioned bus, which is fabulous, especially right now.
Sure.
Our historic bus tour we do regularly. We do a couple during the week, and then we alternate weekends. And the great thing is if you have a family coming in from out of town or a family reunion and you have a few people, you can book a private one.
Oh, cool.
You know, so if you have, say, 5, 6 people who want to go, you can just call us and make arrangements, or you can just stop by and see if, you know, if it works with your schedule. We advertise them on our website, visitsuffolkva.com, also on our Visit Suffolk VA Facebook page. So you can find all the information about the tickets and the tours. It's really inexpensive. The most expensive ticket is $6 for that tour.
Not bad.
No, it's certainly not. And then we offer discounts for children, for military, for AAA, and that's the way it goes with all of our tours. And it's an hour, 15 minutes. and it takes you throughout downtown. It does depart from the visitor center, which is in the old Nansemond County Courthouse, but you really get to get a flavor and a feel of downtown and the history, and it's fun and it's quirky. We tell fun stories, and it really is a way to introduce you to the Suffolk of yesterday, really. And so it's a great opportunity, even if you've lived here all your life.
I was going to say, yeah. Yeah.
We have folks who come all the time and say, you know, I've lived here all my life, but I never knew that story,
Right.
or I've never heard that before. And it's so much fun to be able to do that. So I recommend it to everybody.
Very good.
You could even do it on a late lunch break if you really wanted to.
Well, you said about an hour and 15 minutes. That's
Yeah.
not too bad.
Just tell them that you have an appointment.
Well, you do. You have an appointment with history.
That's right. Ooh,
There you go.
I might have to steal that one.
It's all yours. Well, of course, where y'all are situated, Cedar Hill Cemetery is directly right behind where you're located, but the Cedar Hill Cemetery stroll.
Yes.
So talked about that, and I'm assuming we're not talking really spooky or scary
No,
as
no,
much as, again, history is really the
It's
focal
very
point.
much history. And we have a guide who walks you through. It's not a costume guide or anything like that, but he walks you through and points out different historic figures from Suffolk's past, whether it's Governor Godwin or we have a lion tamer in there. Anthony Gentile or Antonio Gentile is there as well. And just it gives you a really interesting perspective of who built Suffolk.
Right.
And Cedar Hill Cemetery is beautiful.
Yes, it is.
It's not your standard flat cemetery. It's very hilly, and it's got beautiful mature trees, and it feels more, this sounds bad, but it feels more like a park.
Right.
Than, you know, it's more like an older cemetery, and it's got a lot of character and
Yes.
charm, and it's a pleasant stroll, and we tend to try to do them in the morning or in the late afternoon, so you're not in the midday sun.
Right.
But it's great for folks that don't mind putting on their sneakers and walking around and really getting a taste of Suffolk's history through its people.
Right.
So
But a lot of shade.
a lot of
A lot of
shade.
shade. And then again, there are several levels, but it is
It is
maneuverable.
hilly.
I mean,
It
but
is.
it's not like you're hiking a mountain or
No,
anything
no,
like
no.
that. So yeah.
Only for some of us. Some of us it feels like a
Now,
mountain.
how long does that tour take, approximately?
That's about an hour and a half.
Okay. All right.
And we again can do custom tours if it's not a schedule that works for you and you have a group coming in,
Yeah.
whether it's a family reunion or a convention or a conference or even a wedding party. Sometimes
Yeah.
people come in ahead of time
Right.
and they're looking for something to do. Girl Scout groups, Boy Scout groups. We've done a variety of tours for different folks. Church groups a lot of times will want to do tours, and sometimes we'll combine them with the
Sure.
Historic Suffolk Tour, and you
Right.
can do a Cedar Hill Cemetery stroll.
Perfect.
Because they're not offered at the same exact time, it gives you a chance to do both.
Very good. And again, these are historical resources right here in Suffolk. So again, why not tap into them? And like you said, the beautiful thing about it is the fact that people who may have been lifelong residents but just don't know the stories or maybe haven't taken the time to realize this is right here and just taking
Exactly.
advantage of it. And again, whether you have visitors or just doing it for yourself, it's a great
Or
opportunity.
homeschool students.
That's right.
I know summer is upon us, and so their kids are probably
Sure.
the last thing they want to do is go out and learn. But this
Right.
is a great way to
Yes.
kind of trick them into learning.
Right, right.
They will have so much fun they won't even know they're learning.
Indeed. Well, maybe that'll sell the parents, but not the kids. Great Dismal Swamp Safari. Now, I know we've had that tour for quite some time,
Yes.
but again, you have this beautiful natural resource that is so close to where we are right here. It's an integral part of Suffolk as far as the nature and the amount of space that this thing takes up. But talk a little bit about that. And again, you're on a bus.
You are on a bus for
Yes.
most of it. Now, the Great Dismal Swamp Safari, like you said, we've had it for years because it remains one of our most popular tours.
Sure.
And it's 4 hours in the Great Dismal Swamp, mostly on the bus, but there is a 1 mile walk along the Washington Ditch Boardwalk.
Okay.
And then there's also a trip down to Lake Drummond. You can get out of the bus and really enjoy the lake. It's just gorgeous. It's 112,000 acres. We're not even beginning to scratch the surface on our tour,
Right.
and it's 4 hours long.
Right, exactly.
We share the Great Dismal Swamp National Wildlife Refuge with Chesapeake and parts of North Carolina. It is huge, and Lake Drummond is gorgeous. It's an almost perfectly round lake in the center of the swamp, and they say at the deepest it's probably only about 5-6 feet. I mean, I'm 5'5". I'm not testing
Not going
it.
to test it.
But yeah, but I trust them.
Right.
And we often will do kayak tours along
Sure.
Lake Drummond as well, and it's beautiful. And you'll see when you look at photographs, if there's no wind, the water looks like glass.
Right.
And you can see the sky reflecting. It's gorgeous. And you're going to see critters along the way, whether it's turtles and
Right.
and dare I say snakes.
Right.
I know, but it's not like you're walking through and snakes are falling on you.
Right.
Sometimes you'll see a black bear or two, deer. Depending on what time of day, if you're really early or really late, which our tours are not really late,
Right.
you might see, an owl or a bird
Sure.
of prey. So there's just something for everyone. The kids love it because they're out in the middle of nature, and it's truly a wilderness in
Yes.
your backyard.
Yes.
We're complaining about traffic a few feet away, and here's this amazing
Right.
natural, resource. So it's just like a different world, and we like to, engage people and introduce them to the Great Dismal, and they can go on their own. They don't
Sure.
have to go on a
Right.
tour. They're certainly welcome to go on their own. We have a great biologist who leads all of our Great Dismal Swamp tours. She absolutely loves the swamp, and she knows just about everything there is to know about it. She talks about the wildlife and the vegetation and the history. It was a haven for runaway slaves during the Civil War. So the Great Dismal is so much more than just, a nature walk along the
Exactly.
way. It's really encompasses the history of our entire area in one wonderful wilderness habitat. So she also offers guided nature walks that we do. Usually those are more a special request
Sure.
because it's a couple or 4 people or, it depends on what they're trying to plan, but we offer them as well if someone wants to take a 2-hour guided nature walk. Now that's not on a bus.
Right, I understand.
You don't get that air conditioning.
Right, it is called a walk for a reason.
Yes, but we tell you to bring bug spray.
Got it. Okay. Now you mentioned it's not part of the bus tour, the safari, but it's also the fact that you can do kayak tours.
You can.
So let's talk. That is a little separate thing. I know you want
Yes.
to mention that, please.
We do, right now we're doing 2 different kayak tours,
Okay.
and we're getting ready to introduce a third.
Cool.
We do, first of all, kayak tours of Lake Drummond, which we just discussed at the Great
Yes.
Dismal.
Right.
And we would take you to the swamp on the bus, but you would have to paddle, your way through for
Right,
a
of
few
course.
hours. And then we just introduced, we're really excited about this, kayak tours of the Nansemond River.
Oh, cool.
With the same outfitter, it's the same person, the same biologist, and she's wonderful. Her name is Penny, and Penny will take about 6 people at a time,
Okay.
just to keep it small, and so she can discuss the history and what you're seeing along the way.
Right.
And it's absolutely gorgeous. We had our staff take 2 test runs, and the photos that came back are phenomenal. I think now that we have the kayak and canoe
Right.
launch at Constance
I was
Park,
going to ask if you launched from there.
Oh,
but
it's perfect.
Okay.
It really couldn't be any better.
Perfect.
So you can come to the visitor center and park there, and your tickets are $35. Kayak tours are $35 per person.
Okay.
That includes all your equipment.
Right.
When it comes to the Nansemond River tour, you have to be 12 or older.
Okay.
But if you're a minor, you have to be accompanied by an adult.
Got it.
So it's okay if you bring your teenager or your preteen,
Sure.
as long as you're with them.
Got it.
And you just expect it's about 2.5 hours long.
Okay.
And you can bring a snack if you want, but it's absolutely gorgeous.
Okay.
And we're offering those, on a monthly basis. And of course, again, we'll do special groups where, we're nothing if not flexible.
Right. Indeed. Yeah. You want to make the opportunities available. And one of the other tours we wanted to bring up, the Legends of Main Street,
Yes.
Suffolk Ghost Walk. I know that's a fan favorite.
Yes.
We have about 2 minutes left. I want to
Sure.
cover that and one other aspect. We talked about the farmers market
Okay.
before we go, but let's talk about the Ghost Walk.
Sure. The Ghost Walk we've been doing now for a few years. It's Legends of Main Street at Suffolk Ghost Walk.
Right.
It's a 90-minute walking tour through downtown. It's supernatural and spooky, but it's also really funny and
Sure,
fun.
sure.
And there's lots of history in it. And we spent a long time researching this and got, actual stories from the people who lived these experiences. And then we have some legends and lore that we have collected from writers who have discussed the Suffolk area and that sort of thing.
Right.
And it's 2 costume guides. There's some singing along the way, and that departs from the Suffolk Visitor
Okay.
Center. And it's not a Halloween tour; it's a
Sure.
year-round
Right.
tour.
Right.
So you can do it anytime. And we also do custom tours for the Ghost Walk, especially for conference groups.
Right.
Especially in an evening if they don't have something planned, a banquet or whatever, they like to take the Ghost Walk. We even have done some custom Ghost Walks that end at Uncorked for a wine tasting,
Okay.
and then we bust them back. So, like I
Wine
said,
and
we're-
Ghost. I mean, I think that it's a
that's
perfect fit right
spirits and
there.
spirits.
There you go.
So we
so
have it all.
We've talked about tours, and of course, they can coordinate all of this through the Visitor Center. You mentioned the website. We'll have that address back up there, and of course, we'll put the number up as well. But before we go, I want to mention the fact that, again, one of the fan favorites that's continuing to goes on to the fall, is the Suffolk Farmers Market. Saturday mornings, Visitor Center, the Pavilion, great location. Talk a little bit about what's going on there, and again, the times.
Okay, well, this is our 11th season, so we're really excited. Suffolk Farmers Market, like you said, is at the Visitor Center Pavilion at the corner of Main and Constance. You can see it by all the balloons that we
Yes.
have out. It's every Saturday morning from 9 to 1.
Okay.
It's free and open to the public. Every first Saturday of the month, we have a little bit of a bigger market, meaning that we have the Teeny Tiny Farm Petting Zoo, we have a live musician, we have kids crafts, the library to go. We have a little bit of everything. Now, also, We work with the Master Gardeners. They do special programming throughout the season, whether you want to learn about pollinators or planting a fall garden. You know, they really do keep us up to date on what you can do if you want to plant your own garden and grow your own food. And throughout the season, we'll have beekeepers, and we have a variety of programs that we just keep planning throughout. So there's something different a little, you know, every weekend.
Yeah,
And we
yeah.
have anywhere between 25 and 30 vendors.
Very good.
It's fresh, local produce,
Yes.
but it's also baked breads and eggs and milk and poultry and meats. But then you have a lot of, you have crafts and handmade goods, and it's just a little bit of something
Yes.
for everyone. And it's a great opportunity. You come there, and
Yeah.
then you can go out to lunch downtown, or
Great way to
or-
kick off your day.
Exactly, and it becomes a community meeting
Yes,
place. Really,
yes.
you see the same people, and you watch their kids grow up. I've watched their kids grow up over the last several
Right.
years, and it's just a really wonderful, wholesome activity for everyone to enjoy.
Good
And-
food, great entertainment, right?
Yeah, that's right. Live music, it's really very subtle and wonderful, but it's entertaining, truly. And we work with some really great musicians. So
Yes.
for a wonderful way to start your Saturday morning, get out of the house, I think it's great.
Good deal. Well, Teresa, thanks for spending time with us today. And again,
Always.
we'll reference the website if you have any questions about these events. Check out their calendar. Again, you can see when all the tours are being offered and all the things are going on. Again, the farmers market every Saturday. It wraps up in
November.
That's right. So again, we've got a long run to go with this. So again, please be sure to visit the visitor center, visit their website, give them a call, whatever. Just tap into that resource, a great resource for you to utilize here in Suffolk. Again, thank you, Teresa, for your time
Thank you.
today. And that will do it for this edition of On the Scene. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. We'll see you next time.